This is a Full Circle Podcast Show production. Crime.
Let's get it together.
Education.
Let's get it together.
Marriage.
Let's get it together.
Politics.
Let's get it together. Full circle.
Poverty.
Let's get it together.
Race.
Let's get it together. Full circle.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Full Circle Podcast Show, episode number 53. I am Darryl E. McCullough, the same poet, and as always, I am joined by the songstress, who we have saved so much money since you haven't been here. I mean, the
See,
wine...
you know what happens when you take
wine,
a little brief vacation or whatever?
Oh my God. You wouldn't believe how much money we have in surplus for wine.
Who is we?
We have a wine budget now,
Yes,
apparently.
but what happened was we put it into Erica's expensive water, so it's gone.
But this is good for us also. But now we're back to investing.
It must be that stuff from
This is the stuff that
Flint. That's Flint, Michigan water, huh?
This is the motor that runs the show.
Wow. Well, as long as you're happy, I am so glad to see you, Carmen.
I'm really glad to be back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
And
to
happy
you guys.
birthday.
I had a birthday.
Hello, Erica.
Hey,
Wow.
Erica. No, I missed you too.
Our new sheriff. That's
Oh.
who gets you from Blazing Saddles. You know. Anyway,
I
the
normally
fitness
don't get
guru.
you, Darryl, but it's okay.
The fitness guru is here. Erica,
That's
and
right.
you are restricted from saying anything about anyone of a lighter hue.
Lighter than me or lighter than you?
I don't think that's possible,
Yeah,
other
that ain't
than
possible.
Casper, the Friendly Ghost. I don't know if you young people know about Casper.
No.
See, you know what?
Okay, Darryl, that was mean,
right
but it was
here,
funny,
This
so I'm
right
gonna let
here
it
is
go.
what I missed. This right here is what I missed.
Now, we have a in-studio guest joining us today, Dorian Hooker.
That's me.
You think you can get off Snapchat, bruh?
I know,
I'm
right?
not.
You know what?
You got the little picture, little tongue coming out.
You know what? Dorian, introduce yourself to our
I'm
audience.
Dorian Hooker. I'm glad to be here.
Dude, you're big time. Tell them where
No,
you come from.
well,
You're a Scott Bulldog.
I am a
You got
Scott. I'm a
titles,
Scott
bro.
alumni.
I have to say, Dorian and I went to school together.
Yeah, we graduated together.
And don't you? And he was.
1992.
I mean,
Why are you telling everybody?
I'm
else?
sorry, yeah. Because yeah.
my
I should've
husband, he's
said.
the only guy
I
that my
graduated
husband
early.
said he couldn't catch running. He took Kari down a couple times, but not you. Not you. He said. So
Oh, yeah, he couldn't
tell
catch
him no. Tell him more about what you do. I mean, that's the.
Well,
What's your hair for?
I
Y'all
am.
know y'all gonna have to
Well, I thought I
edit
was
that
just
here,
here to have
right?
fun. I didn't know.
Come
I
on,
had-
bro. We only got
hear about
we only
you.
got 2 minutes.
You got 2 minutes. No.
Y'all ain't even. I mean, you got to talk.
Well, I work with athletes, young athletes and teen athletes, and I run a performance training gym, Pro Day Performance Training. And I am located in the Waterville area. It's a new location. And I like to inspire young people as well as adults. I do some adult training as well, but I like to inspire people to reach their goals and objectives. I like to help them build confidence because one of my biggest keys to success, I believe in what I do and with anyone who's looking to compete, is if they can build their self-confidence, they can believe they can do anything, and that's where everything starts. If they don't believe that they can achieve something, they're just out there going through the motions because they don't actually think that they're
It's
going to be able to
mental,
accomplish.
so
Yeah.
like,
Right.
That is
So you have to
awesome.
see yourself doing
But I
it,
got
and
a
so that's what I
question,
try
though.
to instill in
Weren't
them.
weren't you a top athlete?
Well, yeah,
I mean,
was.
So this
And
is your background. That's what
It
I'm
is,
saying.
it is.
So
And I
this
was-
is for your own experience, what you're giving.
And you know what? And I was a young athlete who, you know, I didn't have a me as far as what I do.
Yeah.
But I was, I guess it's called what, intrinsically motivated to achieve at a higher level. I think our kids nowadays, they don't have certain obstacles and things like that that can give them that fire to be more inwardly motivated. So I like to help bring it out of them.
So then
Awesome.
You
Now
grew
you-
up in the inner city, so a lot of dogs chasing you, kids chasing you. This
See, you know
inspired
what?
you to be
That's not even
a
where we
track
going
star.
with
You
that.
did also, Carmen. You probably sang
See,
just
you
so
know
people
what?
leave you alone.
That ain't
You don't have to be shy. I mean, I went to Rogers, so
No dogs.
So she wouldn't know anything about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. She wouldn't.
But he's got. I like
State
your
championships
inspirational. You're
Yeah.
speaking, and you got a great voice. I'm gonna need for you to take all that baritone out, bruh, because you like you outshining me.
See,
you know.
Okay.
you know
put a little
what?
mic in it. Put a
you
little
know,
Michael
you got
Jackson
I
in
do a
it.
lot of Mike and Mike, so that's probably
you need a
why.
podcast.
Okay.
This
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
But we're proud of definitely Dorian, an excellent trainer, definitely from the heart.
This is actually right along with today's topic, which is entrepreneurs, friendship and business. Can it work?
No.
Being that.
Wow,
Being
Pam,
that.
wow.
Okay,
Whoa.
so we're going to get there. Being that Dorian is an entrepreneur, I'm sure he'll have quite a bit of insight on the topic as we go through the show. So let's get ready to have another fun and exciting show from the perspective of a liberal, conservative, and independent state of mind. As always, we should have
Oh, it's
some
okay that I'm conservative?
interesting- Hey,
Okay.
everything's welcome here.
You know who you're talking to?
As always, we have
Conservative.
You're the other black.
some interesting call-in guests.
OMG, I can't.
I got Ben Carson right here on
Oh
my.
my, I
Yes.
can't right now.
That's gonna be a thing.
I think everything
To
Jack
give their
Knight said
opinion.
about Dorian.
You know I'm
I know.
Can you let my girl do her part, please?
You
We're gonna have call-in guests who are gonna get in on this topic. So before we get into that, we want to thank all of our people who are giving us shout-outs and people who are listening in. Make sure that you tell your friends and family about us. Thank you for liking the Facebook page and subscribing to us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. We also want to thank our sponsors, Toledo's own Three Kings. This is an apparel company here in Toledo
I've heard about them.
that supplies quality clothes. Their athletic stuff is off the hook.
And
I'm
the
gonna have to
maker
get
of
with
this
them.
medium.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't get mediums nowhere else.
Mediums.
Three Kings, y'all.
Please visit them at www.threekingsclothing.com, and you can find them on Facebook at Three Kings Clothing and like their page. And don't forget to look out for their new show. Darryl, can you tell them about what they're doing?
I saw that.
Well,
bosses. They
their
invite
show
fans.
is the Roundtable Podcast Show.
Ow.
And it's got your boy Archie,
Our
Mike,
friends.
and
Joey.
Joey. It was we worked together. I'm producing their podcast.
Joey Martin.
It was a great show. It was a great experience. Just released a show today.
That's
So,
us.
nice.
I'm actually really proud of Darryl for expanding the Full Circle Podcast Network. We are growing and branching out, so you look out for the new shows that he will be producing. So let's get into what's going on in the world.
Before we begin, as we always do, we go back on the previous podcast, talk a little bit on that and how it went. Our last show was Get Your Man Out of My Inbox, which
Hilarious, by the way.
Say that.
Hilarious.
Erica
No, you're
says
supposed
I
to
can't
say
say.
it. No, you're supposed to say it like, "Get your man out my inbox."
He ain't supposed to say it at all. That just sounds really.
Oh yeah, he can't. Yeah, we
Like,
can't say
get
that.
your man out my inbox.
Well, I'm just saying, I do have men in my inbox. I'm very popular. Men, women,
Don't-
Asians.
Hey, pause.
Men, women, and Asians.
Pause.
I'm just saying.
That's like
To
saying
each his
That's,
own.
I saw that
crayons,
movie.
pencils, and boxes.
I saw that.
Oh,
I
it's
saw
a
that
movie? It's a movie? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
I saw that
So,
movie.
I mean, but it was a fun show. It was. I was very enlightened on what's going on
You
with
gave,
women.
you gave some bullshit advice, I remember.
I did not give some.
You gave some bullshit advice. As I remember, you said married
Lord.
people should cheat with other married people, and I had to put a disclaimer
Oh,
up
my
there,
God.
and then I had to pray over you 3 times
I'm
in church
yet-
and
I'm
go in
yet
a circle,
praying.
and
I
I
am
was
yet
just
praying
like,
for him.
and I
That's
had
the
to do
deaconess.
communion for you.
You know what?
I'm yet praying for
That's
him.
the deaconess.
You are not a
I'm yet.
cheater, and you do not have a cheater's heart. So you don't know what you're talking about.
Press pause. And you are what now?
I am very.
Am I supposed to hold up, Karen?
You have
I'm
a flag
out there,
button down, tucked in your
Carmen,
pants.
Karen?
I'm out there. I'm very hip to the jack moves
Karen?
that are being made in the street,
What street is that? What street?
in the suburbs,
The boulevard. The boulevard.
in the heights.
The Avenue.
Right.
I'm good. I'm
in
good.
Monroe,
No,
Michigan.
the boulevard.
The boulevard.
But
It was a really good show. We had a lot of different perspectives on there.
yeah, we had your girl Cheryl.
Sunshine Leonard.
Very,
All right.
very fun.
Glass City
Very,
Grind.
very down to earth. She was awesome.
Yeah, we had fun with that.
All right.
So you guys still check that out. And we had Archie on.
Right, from the
Archie
Three
was
Kings.
on.
That
So-
was hilarious. Y'all too. I'm going to separate y'all for real.
Oh, we had Archie's my guy. He's coaching me. on a lot of
He had a new word. He came up
urban,
with.
What was
urban.
it? What was the new word?
Oh, I can't remember what the word was. Remember, he came up with a new word and we had never heard of it before.
Oh no, he's like what's that guy? Jesse.
He's an encyclopedia.
Remember the guy back in the day? He ran for president. Jesse
Jackson.
Jesse
I can't
Jackson.
do it, yeah.
And
I really can't.
he had a vocabulary like him and Don King.
But he always
Oh my God.
talked like this.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Wow.
Like
But
this.
hey, you know what? But we got something new. We're going to add to the show with my girl. And when I say my girl, that means it's usually 99% of the time it means Carmen.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
Get your hand off me, boo.
That wasn't I don't even know where that came from.
wasn't nice.
That's not me.
That's not nice.
That's not me.
That's not nice. I'm not
Carmen
talking-
has a new segment to the show, and it's called Carmen's Clean Slate.
What
you got for us?
What I'd like to talk about is just basically making sure that we give an encouraging word to our audience and also do something that's uplifting and maybe some insights and advice, you know, just from a perspective of somebody who wants to see you improve. It's kind of life coachy, but, you know, it's what we do. Today, clean slate. Never limit your plans to make up for someone else's lack of imagination. Soar higher. Other people's job is to keep up or fall off. Get naysayers and negative people out of your space. The ones who say stuff like, oh, I see you still doing your little writing or singing or acting.
Well, this ain't for you. This for
Or,
Carmen.
Right.
or your
They-
little podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
They try to act like friends, but these people are
You
really
still got
just...
your little gym.
Right. These people are really just close
You
proximity.
still driving your Z28?
See, still is the word. These people are close proximity haters.
Oh, that's
They-
you, though?
They stay in your life to throw shade on the fact that you're still trying to live in your purpose. Get some people around you that are positive in your circle, even if it's a
Well.
small circle. The ones who celebrate your
and your mama.
accomplishments. Yeah, listen. Even
just
when
you
it
and your
gains
mama.
them nothing, if they can celebrate you and they're not getting anything out of it, that's a real friend.
You're
You
right
know,
about
those are the
that.
people you
You're
need.
absolutely right.
People without a motive or agenda. Positive people make bad situations bearable. Keep them around. So when things look dark, it's a kind word can brighten your path. A smile is like a street lamp, light up someone's world. And that's clean slate.
I love it. I love it.
I love
Fire,
that,
girl.
too.
We all related. We all shouting out stuff.
Yes,
Can
I
I
love
add
that.
something to that?
Please do.
No, you're a guest. No, I'm just playing.
Look,
Please
he told me
do,
to act,
please
he told me to
do.
be at home.
Yes, you family.
Hey.
Go
So
ahead,
look,
Z.
Can I take that back, bro?
Stop acting like
already
that.
at the
No,
house now.
this is where we are. This is where we
So
are. Let's
look.
talk about it.
So I had this little get together at my new location, and what I did was kind of just what you talked about those friends. I had made a board, and it was called Pro Day Contributors, and so I had listed some people, some special contributors who,
Yeah.
you know, some special people to me because they had actually contributed so much to me being able to get my business going.
Supporting you.
And supporting me, and it wasn't because they had a motive or wanted
Right,
anything.
right,
and
right.
And some of the things that had happened, it was so crazy, some of the things that people did to show that, and I didn't even have to ask, it was offered.
That's awesome. And that's when you know that those people are for
Yeah,
you.
and
That's
so I
what's
wanted to
up.
recognize them by placing their name up there so that they would know, as well as anybody who came in would know, you know.
Absolutely. Those
Awesome.
are your street lamp people.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Now, you know what? We got maybe a few minutes to delve into politics, or we can skip right over it.
No, we're going to do this.
Or we can skip.
No, because see what
Oh yeah,
happened
because
was
I got some questions
he's
about this
been-
new Trump thing.
he's been you've been getting off easy for the last couple of weeks.
What?
And today we've got a new book. Michael Wolff's book came out
Fire
today.
and Fury. And it's a great cover on that book, by the way.
And apparently, this is a takedown of the administration from the inside. This is Steve Bannon's tell-all, and it's as written from Mike Wolff's perspective. So I think that that's something that people want to take a look at. There was an article in Politico that says Trump got wolfed. The president should have known better than to mess around. Michael Wolff does not mess around, and he is the only journalist that's been brave enough to say and do the things that these other journalists should have done by asking honest questions and digging for the answers. The thing about it, when you're looking at the White House press pool as it stands right now, you've got a lot of people who are sitting on the fence. Okay. But this guy, he actually has the ear of Steve Bannon, and they're not holding back.
Wow.
So, pick it up. Good read.
Awesome.
I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to see if someone's going to let me borrow it.
Girl.
I'm going to keep it 100% real. So if you have the book and you want to let the Full Circle podcast borrow your book.
Oh, you know what? I'll have next episode, I'll have a review.
Yes. Electronic versions are accepted.
The other thing that we're looking at right now is the fallout from for the tax bill.
Yeah, but I was fine with that.
I'm sure you were.
I'm thinking that I'm going to have another child as well because it looks like we're going to get $2,000 per child. Whoop, there it is.
I'm afraid that that's not exactly correct.
Right.
What tax bracket are you in, sir?
Oh, I'm up there. I'm up there.
Was-
I put it this way.
Homemaker, a black
I
homemaker.
take cheese sandwiches to work.
Oh,
So you know how much money I got.
Oh.
And I keep my thermostat right at about 68.
I can't fool with you.
What?
I can't.
That's why I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna help a lot of black people. If you would just lower the temperature of your thermostat to
That's
maybe
not
68,
true. That's not true.
67, you
That
would
is-
save so much money.
You
Black
wear-
people like it up 72,
I
73,
just-
74.
78?
Can I just
Do
say
you
that
wear
that
the-
is...
All
you
your
wear-
money.
Do you wear the Spalding sweatsuits too?
Can I tell you, he has New Balance.
No, bruh.
Oh, New Balance.
K-Swiss.
The same.
K-Swiss, excuse me. Excuse me.
K-Swiss.
I was trying to give you some credit.
K-Swiss. Why are you looking all
No, I was.
eyes closed?
He's that
What?
guy. He's that guy.
K-Swiss, bro.
He is. He that guy.
I mean, they're cool.
They made in America?
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, God. Here you go.
And also right now, North Korea and South Korea are in peace talks. And we don't know if they're peace talks.
No,
They are
they're not
talking.
in peace talks. They're in panic talks because Donald Trump has his finger on the button, and his button apparently is bigger. He's in a dick measuring contest with Kim Jong-un.
Well, the show
And-
just went rated R. Thanks.
And, excuse me, he's in a missile
He-
measuring
He,
contest.
he should be able to win that contest.
Now,
though.
do any of you know what a dotard is?
I'm sure I can look in the Urban Dictionary.
Well, let me tell you something. If you look it up, this is funny. Now, that Rocket Man, that English is not his first language. However, he looked up a word that I had to go look up. He called Donald Trump a dotard. So look it up, audience. You're going to die laughing.
Oh, yeah.
It is hilarious. I was like, how did he know a word
Wow.
that I didn't even, I mean, it's hilarious. And it's completely good for President Dotard. So, yes.
Yeah,
Well-
you know what? He is. He's pretty senile. Yes, that's true.
2018 will be Donald
Don't
Trump's
hard.
year. Mark my
His
words.
final year in office.
Yes.
Well,
Finally.
Let's see.
before we get into entertainment,
That was very entertaining to me.
does anybody have a
Well,
black
it's one-
magic marker? Because I want to write my name on my
I'm
bottle
not
of
going
water.
to drink your water.
Did that happen?
Wait,
is that a
is
thing?
One time I drank out of his cup and my lips started burning immediately, so I knew it wasn't mine.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, listen though. You guys didn't say anything about the other Donald Trump,
Oh.
the cell phone thing. Did you
Oh,
hear about that?
Yeah. Do
About how
tell.
we're gonna have to. It's gonna be an automatic thing that when he sends out a message, that we automatically get it to our cell phones.
I don't want
I
that.
didn't hear about that.
I don't want
I
that
just
at all.
heard that today.
don't
I would
want
like that.
I don't want that at
Because
all.
we're already
So
following
I'm
him
thinking
on
that
Twitter.
he'll probably be saying
That's a
you
little.
need to follow me on Twitter.
That's a little too
or
New
like-
World Order for me.
Yeah,
and,
it is a bit.
And then
I like that.
The worst thing, I'm getting off of the White House. I'm getting out of there, and I want to talk about Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions is coming after your weed. So yeah, what's happening is in terms of the federal mandate, they want to make a federal mandate to keep marijuana illegal that will override the state mandates that
Praise
legalize.
God.
No.
No?
You're a conservative. I thought you were all about states' rights.
I don't like. I
No,
would
but
prefer
I
not
thought,
to smoke.
No. You can't. You have to. You have to.
Marijuana is bad.
You have to pick a side, though. If you want states' rights when it comes to marriage, abortion, and all those other social issues, then how
It's
can
not
you,
state rights
how
on
can
abortion.
how can you allow the federal government to come in and make decisions that overrule the state's laws?
No, I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I have smoked marijuana once in my life, so I'm not gonna, go negative on
Where'd you buy it?
ganja.
So how'd you get it?
I bought a nickel bag
Where at?
Oh my God!
off Lee Road.
What is
Off
A
what road?
nickel bag.
what is that?
That's in Cleveland.
A nickel.
What you talking about, bro?
What is that?
That's Lee Road is in Cleveland.
Hit that boy, hit you.
I can't. Oh, you know he's from Cleveland, right? Don't
No,
do that.
my
Don't-
wife is
No,
from
his
Cleveland.
wife's from Cleveland.
Suburbs.
don't
My
get-
wife's from
don't,
East
Don't
Cleveland.
make him feel at
Like
home.
real Cleveland, for real.
Don't make him feel
Like
at
Bone
home.
down the street right there, sitting
What?
at the end of the block.
I think that's not Bone. That sounded very.
I would like
Oh.
to add one thing onto the politics about this, and as far as with AT&T, which I'm sure you saw as soon as this was passed, that they gave all their employees a $1,000 bonus. And I just want to
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. And
But let me go on with
go
that.
ahead, girl.
That,
You know what happened,
that
right?
bonus was
go
not
back to Verizon.
because of that tax.
No, it wasn't.
What had already happened, their union, the Communication Workers of America, were already in talks with AT&T. They were agreeing to give the workers $4,000, which would have been a much nicer bonus.
Correct.
And more because they gave it to the union workers, first and second line managers, who I would say, if you put in the first and second line managers that are there, about 85% of them make over $1,000 a week.
Do you know what
So-
else happened though? Do you know what happened behind that?
Oh, yes. Also, and then on top of that, during the same time, they came in the Midwest, and they have laid off almost 1,000 employees.
1,500.
1,500, and at that same time, those people will not get that bonus. So while they were doing this,
and
we were supposed to get 4,000,
Right.
got 1,000 before taxes, and then turned around and laid off. And this is just the first round of layoffs.
Oh, wow.
But the PR of it was
They want that
highlighting
merger.
the bonus, because of the quote unquote tax plan. The other side of it, where they phased out 2 entire divisions. They phased out the divisions for landlines and homes, and
They got net neutrality. Now think, net
Exactly.
neutrality is gone. AT&T is now paying 21% corporate tax. Now, I'm not beating up on AT&T, but what I'm saying
should. Their
is
services.
please stop being bamboozled and hoodwinked. This is the same thing that they do. They show you this shiny penny, and while you're running, they're cutting off everything that you left behind to come for that one shiny thing.
Absolutely.
You're losing everything. So do not be fooled. Just like they're saying, now we're doing this, we're raising this, raising that. This is still Reaganomics. The trickle down will not happen this way. And I just want you to think about this. Now Trump is on infrastructure. How do you build? Let's go back and look once we got out the Coolidge era. When you look at that and you see when Roosevelt built, how did he build?
He
built
built
through
with-
corporate taxes. If you
and
don't
not only
have
that,
taxes,
social programs.
Right, you
Social
cannot build
programs.
without taxes.
Like the WPA.
How are they going to pay for that now?
Social Security.
Yes.
All of those things. And
Now they're saying it costs $1 trillion. How do we pay for that? Oh my God, you know what? We
They're
just
coming
cost
after
$1 trillion. So now we have to cut Medicaid,
And Medicare.
Medicare, and healthcare. You really need to be paying attention because there's a problem when we're giving tax cuts where we need to have the taxes to pay for programs we need. People, healthcare is a right. People, when they retire, have a right to stop working so hard.
Not only that, the kids, that chip.
They can't afford that now.
It's insane.
If you aren't upset yet as an American by the principles of what we stand for, which are to be a Republican and Democrat, then you have an issue with being a human being.
It's time
Period.
to. It really is
and
time.
please don't call yourself a conservative Christian.
Okay.
Because
we're losing audience.
No, we're not.
They're
Let me just
cutting
say this
off. I
last
can see
thing.
the lines
No,
dropping.
there's not. Let me say this to conservative Christians. The thing I notice difference between a conservative and a liberal is we admit our sins. Conservatives are doing the same thing that liberals are doing. The only difference
Oh,
is
girl, that's a show. That'll
that
preach.
you're hiding from it, and when you get found out, you want to talk about that God is putting all this on you.
I
Roy
wanna-
Moore is an example. See, liberals are saying your morals and your values don't trump people's rights.
I want to
I
tie.
don't have to like gay people. You don't have to like that, but they have the right to live here in this country just like you do. And half of y'all is gay.
I want to tie this up in a bow so that we can move to the next
Tie it up because
segment.
that makes me so mad.
Please
the
let her tie it up.
The biggest thing to remember is not to put party over country and to make sure that what you say your values are aligned with what it
Yes.
is that we vote for.
Have that integrity.
Vote your conscience.
That's right.
Okay,
Fist
so
bump, fist bump. Hey, girl.
moving on.
Welcome back. Somebody to finally.
She gave me a fist bump. She didn't realize that she's caught up on the
No,
notes.
I got you.
You agree with us. We got you, brown skin.
See there. Moving on, we just want to go to our entertainment section, which is brought to you by Marmite Records, the label owned and produced by Eric Sills of Stone Soup Recording Studios right here in Maumee, who puts together this lovely show.
And he mics us up.
We fancy now,
Yeah.
okay?
Yes. Notice that. No mic.
Oh,
from
you're
the table.
fancy now. Oh, you're fancy.
We only got 2 minutes. Can you stop?
Okay. So any of you singers or musicians who are looking to record in a world-class studio, please visit www.stonesouprec.com or check them out on Facebook at Stone Soup Recording Studios and like the page. Have you seen Details?
I have seen Details. Have you seen Details?
I've heard about it. I've
Okay.
heard about
I don't
it.
know.
Talk
They
to me.
watch
We
a
should
lot
have
of
we should
Netflix.
have a caller calling in any minute. So I'm going to try to run through this entertainment. Okay. I'm a Netflix head.
Okay.
It is.
I'm on there and I see Tobey Maguire's face,
it's
and I was
free.
like, okay, I have nothing to do right now, so I'm going to watch this movie.
Can I tell you something?
The Details. Talk to me.
I'm not the biggest Tobey Maguire
Neither
fan.
am I, because
I can't with him because I feel like he ruined Spider-Man.
What? He was a great
he
Spider-Man.
he was okay, but he wasn't
Perfect.
the Peter
Yeah, he
Parker
was.
that I envisioned.
I know, right?
Okay. All right.
The
now,
last one was good. The last guy that played it was
okay,
good.
now, but I did check him out because he doesn't want to be tied to that. Now he was in Bobby Fischer's story called
Right.
Pawn Sacrifice. That was a good movie.
Right.
But The Details, which has your boy, the Allstate man, Dennis Haysbert.
Haysbert, yeah.
That's the only thing I like. Oh, that
Excellent.
man is, woo!
Check out The Details.
Sorry.
Tobey Maguire, I ain't trying to
Nice
spoil
looking
nothing.
older man.
But Tobey Maguire's having sex.
Yeah, he's.
Was his chest shaved again?
Can I tell you a secret? Toby is like our age and
I
stuff.
thought Tobey Maguire was like 18 years old.
No, I'm afraid he's
No.
not.
Okay.
Probably 40.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Well-
we do have to make sure our audience knows this. Hold hands, everybody. Hold hands.
Don't get me into
Nicki,
none of your non-denominational
Nicki
church
Minaj
stuff.
and Nas are over.
that was the thing.
Moment of silence.
Was that that was the thing?
You got-
Yes. Why you
got me
upset? Because you
involved.
got my hand on that.
Why?
Y'all, it's
Was that
done, y'all. Now they're not going to make any songs about each other. They broke up amicably.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't even
Yes,
know.
they took pictures. They posted things. See, I keep up on stuff. I was watching
No.
Netflix.
I thought she was with the one dude.
Meek Mill?
No, he's in jail.
No,
Free my nigga
somebody
Meek.
after him. No, somebody
Stop
after him.
saying the N-word.
They
Don't
gotta
say
free
the N-word.
Meek.
Lil Uzi Vert.
No.
I stopped paying
She's
attention.
with Nas. She's with the real
at
man.
Meek Mill.
Okay.
And so I want you guys.
I thought Nas was with the
to
milkshake
keep-
girl,
keep-
but we have a caller on.
Keep
so-
Nicki,
Oh my God.
keep Nicki and
Lift in
Nas in
prayer.
your prayers.
We
Keep
gonna
them
lift
lifted in
them up.
prayer.
I'm not praying
Please,
for her.
yes, you do.
We
They
got
going
people
through a
starving
lot.
in Africa. I'm
She
not
is-
praying for Nicki Minaj or
Can you pray for Nas?
Cardi B or
You know
none of them
what? You
people
leave
that
Cardi out
listen
of
to.
this.
Yes. We
You
pray-
leave Cardi out
Pray
of
for
this.
Nicki, guys.
All right, now let me say one more thing. We have a caller on.
She's available,
So
though.
before I get into that, the other thing is that I saw, I did see this $90 million project that was on Netflix,
still
and
haven't
that
seen
is
it.
called
Do not-
I
Bright.
liked it.
Don't
I
give
liked
spoilers.
It. No, I
I did
like
not
it.
hate. I didn't hate it.
I liked it, and here's the what. It's getting a lot of flack for
It's
having
racial undertones.
Yeah,
I didn't
not
see
only-
any of that.
Not only that,
You wouldn't. I want to listen to Carmen.
it's
not you.
getting a lot of flack for having the racial undertones in the story. But
gonna
I
watch
will
it tonight.
I will
So I
say
should
this.
watch it?
Yes, you should.
And that's Bright. We're talking about Bright.
I will say this. It was smartly done,
Okay.
and it was entertaining.
Smart.
I gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
Will Smith been
7.
slipping.
Okay, we're
7.
close.
Will Smith
Ever
been
since he got in that
slipping.
weird Kabbalah religion and Scientology and stuff, and he wasn't really black,
Caller, are you there?
you know.
I'm here, man.
How are
happening?
you? I'm going to get right
This is
into this.
Jason.
Give me one second.
Would you say Will Smith is really black or nah?
That is not his segment. That's not his segment.
Oh, it's not a segment?
That's not
Okay.
the question we're asking
But
right
if you
now.
want to answer that question, I will not judge you.
I like Will Smith.
and I cannot
You-
lie.
What?
Doesn't he look kind of old in this movie? He looks kind of like he's finally old, doesn't
Well,
he?
he
Yeah, it's
is.
catching
Only
up
old.
thing
to him.
is, I'm going to
He's
say this.
distinct.
They didn't
Go
have to
so
get
far.
Will Smith. They could have got Martin Lawrence to play this part.
I don't think that that's a thing.
No.
No, this was a Will Smith.
cool with
This
Martin
was a
Lawrence.
Will
This
Smith.
wasn't challenging for Will Smith.
It's a Will Smith style movie, though.
Yes.
It
Okay.
is.
Now, also, I went and saw Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
What just happened to your voice?
Crack.
He got excited. It's Star Wars. He's getting excited about Star Wars.
Oh my
Okay,
God!
okay.
I am a Star Wars fan, and people told me, they're like, "Oh, you're not going to like Star Wars because you despised Spider-Man: Homecoming because of its diversity."
Just
I
wait.
didn't have a problem with Spider-Man's
You did.
diverse. I had a
did.
problem
That
with
was
the
your specific
over-the-top diversity
that was
being
your
crammed down my throat.
specific problem with the movie.
Yes,
How?
but
Why you
but
backtracking?
Star Wars was not that.
Why you
I'm
backtracking?
gonna go
though?
here. People said, Darryl, Star Wars is a girl power movie. You're not gonna like it. It's
You
a
know what?
multiculturalism movie. You're not gonna like it. I
Whoever
didn't
said
detect-
that was a dick.
I didn't detect my father said that, Carmen. My father said that. And he worked on the
father a
railroad.
dick.
He worked on the railroad. No,
He's a Richard then.
I didn't have any problem,
Richard.
Carmen, I didn't have any problem with any of that. And you know
Okay.
me, I'm looking for that stuff.
No, I know you are.
I was sitting up there analyzing midway through the movie. I was like, why do I have a bad, why am I in a bad state? Do I have
Because
a
you
bellyache?
I have a
listen.
bad feeling about
No,
this.
you
Do I have
know
a
why?
bellyache?
You listen to everybody
No,
else tell
Carmen,
you stuff about
Carmen.
it, and then you had like this built up.
Well, isn't that part of it though? Isn't that part of Star Wars is the build-up
Like,
to what you're
yeah.
about to
Now I'm
see?
going to introduce this caller, and we're going to really get into it. Now Jay is from the Jay Craig podcast. He's a Michigander. Jay, tell people about yourself
That's
right
right.
quick.
Hi,
I thought
Jay.
his name
Hey
was
everybody,
Jason.
I'm Jason Catron.
Hi, Jason.
I'm a
Jason.
co-host. Hi everybody. It's
Hi,
full circle. How you
Jason.
doing over there?
You're not-
Okay.
You're not supposed to shorten
I'm a
people's
Michigander
names,
too,
That's-
so yay.
Jason,
All right.
it's the Jay
Yo.
Craig podcast.
But his name is Jason.
Okay,
That is
they're
right.
they're
My
going
name
over
is Jason.
semantics.
I go by Jay. We are the Jay Craig podcast.
Nice.
I'm a Michigander. My partner lives in Costa Rica, so we have a long distance relationship, if you will.
I
Is it
wish
a
I had a
girl?
long distance relationship with my podcast host.
I haven't been here for like.
Not you.
Oh, how did I guess? I pretty much knew that was for me.
Okay.
No, I'm
You got
joking.
something against
I'm
light-skinned
joking,
people.
dear. Go on. Now,
So,
go on, Jay.
Son.
Yeah, I'm Jason. I'm Jay, however you want to call me. Just watch our podcast. But, I'm a filmmaker, a writer, a salesman, a family
Nice.
man, and I'm a Star Wars fan. And so I love that you wanted me to talk about Star Wars because
Yes.
it's one of the most endearing things about movies. I just love Star Wars, man. It's so awesome.
Yes, Lucas is a genius.
Now,
George
Jason,
Lucas is an absolute
He's
genius.
not a he's a
Absolutely.
Stan Lee.
He's an
of this. He's
absolute
not involved in
genius.
this anymore.
I'm
he's
team-
not involved.
I'm
Well,
No,
team
anyway,
but
Roddenberry.
the whole
It's-
universe
it's
that
a-
he
it's a
created.
grandfather.
Team Roddenberry.
Now,
The
Jason,
universe that he
if we could
created
get
was
into this
awesome.
without spoiling this, if you're a Star
I'll do my
Wars
very
fan,
best.
you should have seen Star Wars
Yeah.
Last Jedi
Let's-
by now.
Would you let the man talk?
But go on.
Hey, no, this is your show. I'm just here for fun. So
Why?
gotta do.
Why? I'm going to borrow something that I heard from the young people. Why was Star Wars: The Last Jedi so? Yeah.
No, that's not.
Okay.
No, no.
So
It-
Meow.
this has been plaguing me
Oh
since
my
I saw the
God.
movie 2 weeks ago.
It so
This
wasn't.
whole idea of why I don't like Star Wars. It's really a hard thing for me to say that I don't like a Star Wars movie because it's like Darryl. It's just Star Wars is in me, right? I've been around it forever. It's something that's really special to me. So I had a real problem walking out of Last Jedi, and I really hated this movie.
Why?
And that's a great question. So my partner asked the same thing. It said, "So why does it matter?" Because first of all, it bothered me that I hated it. It bothered me that I wanted to like the movie. I'm that
Yeah.
big of a fan, so I saw it 3 more times just to
Oh,
make sure
wow.
I didn't like it.
Okay.
So
Don't ever get married.
my partner Craig said, "Why does it matter? There's a lot of bad Star Wars movies." And I said, "You're right. They're not all great movies. It's not about the movie.
Okay.
For me, it's about the experience.
Okay.
It's the build-up of the experience and the characters. And every movie I've seen in Star Wars up to date, I've walked out with this like Star Wars glow.
Yeah,
the
that's
Star
true.
Wars, this feeling, right? The magic of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
That's why we stand in line for an hour, or wrap around a building back in 1980. It's just, it's that palpable energy that Star Wars brings. And
Absolutely.
when I walked out of The Last Jedi, and mind you, the prequels aren't great movies, but I still walked out of those movies really entertained by them and had that same feeling. And then afterwards, you're like, yeah, they're not that great, but it's Star Wars, so it's okay. I walked out of Last Jedi, and I was angry.
Why?
But it didn't give me the
What
feeling.
was the anger?
It didn't give me the feeling that I've had, that feeling that I know that's so special to me. I walked out feeling like,
Can I add this? Is it because that this made the closure real, and the way that they did it was in such a visceral way that made the closure real?
I'll go on there.
Was it that?
You can't. He got to
I'll
answer
go with
the
this
first
with
question.
you, Carmen, just so you'll see.
can
I
I
hate to
hear-
even
you
use
gotta
this
answer
illustration.
the
No.
question
Can I
first.
hear what he's
But
saying?
I'm going to. I can
he
speak
was
for
just-
Jason. I think I can speak for Jason. I think I
I
can
don't
solve
think
it.
you can speak for Jay. I think
Go
this
ahead.
is
Fine, I'll
when
right.
Prince died,
Don't do that to
it
me.
hurt me
Do not do
because
that to
that was
me.
my childhood.
Don't do that to me.
Now
Don't do
I'm
that
going to
to
go
me.
over here to Star Wars.
Oh God.
This last
Jason, do not let him speak for you.
effort hurt me.
I want to
Hurt
hear this.
me.
I want to hear this.
Jason.
Because
Fight back.
It destroyed my childhood.
No, it didn't.
It destroyed my image of Luke,
Okay, well,
Leia,
oh God.
Darth Vader.
But we're in a
and
different
I
space.
understand where you're coming from.
I see what you're
I
saying,
understand
but
where
we're
you're
in a
coming from,
different
and-
space, and that's why I ask: is it because it made that
Wipe
that
that tear
whole
off your eye.
that whole sense of
Golly, this guy is crying.
that
Well,
whole?
let me try to answer that.
Yeah.
You know, why? Yes, I think it's because it is the closure. It's the last act. As much as I didn't like seeing Han Solo die, I knew it had to happen, and I was okay with it. He's my favorite character. And I don't agree that it destroyed my childhood. It tried to. But in the same way, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did not kill Indiana Jones for me.
Right.
Nor did the prequels kill Star Wars, right?
Right,
I
right.
just choose to ignore them.
Oh wow.
I don't believe they exist anymore. So with this movie, yes, partially because of the closure, and I'm okay with that. I'm wanting them to move on because when they came out the last one, not the last one, but The Force Awakens,
Right.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
new characters with Rey and Finn and Poe and Kylo, I really thought, I was like, damn, we got like a new cast of characters that I'm looking forward to.
Did you want to
seeing
embrace
through
them
this.
in that way?
Yeah.
You wanted them to take you on their journey.
Now, Jason,
Yeah.
I am not
Okay, I
a,
get that. I get
a
that.
Star Wars fan. I'm definitely Team Star Trek. But
But
I did like the first Star Wars. I'm gonna give it to you there. But
Have you watched Black Mirror? This
I
season, the
heard
new
about-
season
I
of
heard-
Black Mirror.
I heard about this now.
Watch the
Go
first
watch it.
episode
All right.
of Black Mirror.
I want to bring up the new. This is good. I gotta watch this. So Finn, I want to talk to you about Finn a little. So he was
Please.
the African American character, you know, because hey, I'm not gonna lie,
Yep.
black people, we love when we get our little cameo on there. We be like, yes, whether we're joking or
9%
not.
black people went to see this latest Star Wars episode. Go on.
Because let me explain to you why. He was a weak character in his first
Oh,
appearance.
no.
He was the only janitor.
He was weak.
He couldn't fly. He was always sweaty and running around like a slave. He was like,
it. What
he was like,
Stop.
head. So a lot of black people, even though we didn't see it, we were like,
I
I'm not
don't
gonna see it. He was
agree.
always sweating, heavy panting, and having some type of slave type antics. And that movie so was really a Now I want you to keep it real, Jay.
Was
Did
he like the
not
Get Out
look-
guy? The Get Out guy that was running and Get Out?
Yeah, he looked like the Get Out. He wasn't the Get Out guy. I don't know, but he was
No,
always.
it was.
He
You're
was
confusing-
always
Yeah.
sweaty.
No.
He was always
No.
getting beat up,
You're
and he sounded like
confusing your blacks.
He was like, yes, yes.
I
He was
didn't get that at all.
Yes, we didn't. We were not happy with the Finn character, but I heard they did a better job with Finn this time. They let him speak a couple of sentences.
I
Is that true?
didn't hear that. I
He
didn't.
had some
Well-
audible sentences.
I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that feeling at all. I
Because you
felt
guys
like
are,
Here's
that's
the
because
thing.
you're Star Wars fancy. I'm a
I
Star
felt
Trek
like-
fan, so I'm looking for.
we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
Answer the question, Jay.
Okay,
Son.
so listen to this. So Finn, I love John Boyega. Who
I do
plays
too.
Finn. I think he brings a great personality to the character, but they give him nothing.
Mhm.
They have given him
Nothing.
nothing in 2 movies. In the second movie, he almost does something unfreaking believable, and then it's like expectations galore is always pulled
And
off
it's a
from underneath
fart.
this
Would you
movie.
say it's like a?
And it's like, man,
fart.
they're not giving this guy anything to work with.
Yeah.
See, I can depend on
It's really
Jason.
unfortunate.
You
He's
and
a good
Carmen.
actor too, man.
Okay.
No, no,
He's
no.
a great.
Thank you,
John
Jason.
Boyega is
Jason,
amazing.
thank you.
Before
Jason.
we let you go, I'm gonna say this one thing, and this is not a spoiler per se,
Oh jeez.
but Darth Vader, man. It's all about
Oh,
every
God.
great movie, superhero movie has a great super villain. Okay, when Snoke told Kylo Ren
You're
take that
giving
ridiculous mask off, it
spoilers.
pissed me off.
Spoilers.
Now I got to look at this John Travolta, Scarface.
Oh my God.
I gotta
you
look
know
at
what
his-
I would love
his
to have
face.
happen though?
He's
no,
weak
I'm
to
not
me.
Even, I'm not
He's
gonna lie.
weak to me.
Okay.
You want to see Finn?
I gotta go
do
on
that
a
spectacular
total different
thing.
tangent. I would love to
Uh-oh.
see the kid from Stranger Things, Adam Driver, and Keanu Reeves play the same person in a movie at different times in your life.
That's fantastic. I love
That
that.
would be awesome.
But I tell you what,
I would love to see Finn do something not slavish and buffoonish.
you have to see the movie.
I-
You're going by clips.
Yeah,
Yes.
no.
But no,
Hey,
because
can I,
Jason
Daryl, can I say something?
agreed with
Please,
Go right ahead, Jay.
please.
Daryl, when you said kill the child, I got to say something here before you get me out of here. Nothing they can do can kill your childhood for Star Wars
Absolutely.
because that
That's
stuff
right.
is what you have in you, man.
Star Wars lives inside.
Built it for 40 years, man.
Boy George lives inside me.
Oh, girl.
Why would you?
Oh, girl.
Why would you put that on his ice cream that he just?
Boy George is you
served.
never come.
Okay, so what we're doing here is thanking you. Can you tell people where to find you and how they can
Yeah,
get in
Jason.
touch with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're the J. Craig Podcast. That's TheJayCraig, TheJaygPodcast.com. I'm sorry, it's thejcraig.com. I get ahead of myself. Thejcraig.com. You can find our podcast on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud as the J. Craig Podcast. We talk about movies. We talk about life because for us, it's a matter of life and movies.
I like
Awesome.
you. You have to come.
Listen, Jay.
I just
You
got
have
one
to come
question.
visit us in the studio sometime.
You have
Jay.
to. You have to. Now I just got
man.
one quick question. So on the scale from 1 to 10, The Last Jedi, what's your rating? 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 4.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't agree.
I agree.
I
Thanks a lot.
think I liked it better because I wanted to. I wanted to.
I
like
want to
it.
like it. There's a lot of good stuff
Sounds
in
like
it.
the
There
Still
are
have
really
to bad
great
sex.
things. There are really
I
great
wanted
things.
to like it.
Will
There are
you
really great
please
things
stop
in this
making
movie.
this show rated R?
I'm sorry, it's what people do for bad sex. I wanted to
I'm going to
like
bring
it.
a Gideon's
I
Bible
don't.
and I'm going to put it
I
right
don't want
here.
to like bad sex at all. Ever.
But it
Hey,
happens,
Jay,
doesn't it?
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Thanks so much for calling
Thank
in. We
you.
appreciate it, okay?
Jay, thanks, Jay.
Hey, guys, have a great night. Thanks a lot. Talk to you
You
soon.
too. So here's my thing. All right. I felt like in terms of closure, I didn't want it to be over, and the way that they gave us, the last movie gave us characters that we thought we could build with. That's what I thought.
Carmen, I'm crazy about you. And you have rubbed off on me on a lot of things, okay? So I'm not going into Star Wars with this extremely closed mind as normal. I was very open to change. I know, do I want to see Leia anymore? Look, don't get me wrong. Not really. Okay, I know people are getting older. Luke looks like I thought I was watching Game of Thrones.
Stop playing. You know what?
what,
Hey,
boy?
you know what? No, you know what? You know what?
Hey, my fault.
We're not gonna do that.
Don't
We're
say
not. You are
nothing
not
about
gonna
Game
say
of
bad
Thrones.
things
I got
about Game
another
of Thrones.
year before
But-
it comes out.
Can you-
I wanna,
okay?
but
Yeah, we'll fight
Carmen,
right now.
it
We will
needs
fight
work.
about Game
It
of
needs-
Thrones.
it needs work.
2019.
It did.
It needs work.
You know what you both need to do? You need to come on over to Star Trek. We're intelligent people.
Ain't
live.
nobody
Oh,
watching
And
that.
we learn
Ain't
about
nobody watching no
replicators,
Star
and we learn
Trek.
about moving through space.
No, but yeah, I do.
I love Star Trek.
I do
guys.
want you to watch the
I'll watch
first.
Battlestar Galactica.
You know
Stop
what?
playing.
Our listening audience, tell us what you like. Are you with me and
hashtag-
Dorian? We're Star Trek.
Team Star Trek
Trek
or
over here.
hashtag Team Star Wars.
Is Tarantino going to
Star
be doing
Trek.
something with Star Trek? I don't
Star
care.
Trek.
Never mind.
No.
Hey.
I do want
But
you
we
to.
had
I
the
did hear that.
finest captains.
I do want. Okay. I do want you guys to check out Black Mirror.
Okay,
on
what is
Netflix.
Black Mirror?
It's a Twilight Zone style.
Oh, I love
show.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I
Guys, we
like
talking-
Twilight
Now
Zone too.
it's a British show, but
don't-
it's like it's in the
I
style
don't
of
like
Twilight
things that
Zone.
have black
Like
in the front title.
But Black Mirror,
The black.
yes.
Yeah, I saw
big
that.
Oh my
episode?
God!
I saw
No,
that.
you have to. You gotta watch it.
Black Mirror.
It makes you have to figure some stuff out.
Yes,
Okay, I'm
and
watching
it
it
will freak
tonight.
you
Turn some
out.
turns
With
and
some
things
It'll
like
freak
that.
you out. Now there's
Black Mirror and bad sex tonight.
the new.
Black Mirror and bad sex.
Will you please stop talking about adult things?
Is this
I
an adult
don't
show?
ever want to have
Is this
that.
not
Yeah, I
an adult
don't.
show?
But Black Mirror, the first episode of this fourth season is a send
Fourth
up.
season?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can binge off of
Yes,
this. Huh?
is a send up of Star Trek. You'll
And
love
Greenleaf.
it.
Don't
You
forget
will
about
absolutely
Greenleaf.
love
No,
it.
will you stop?
Greenleaf
You're
is
messing
really good.
everything up.
How
You're
am I?
bringing it to that Kinsman Lee Road
Can I tell you
era.
something? Okay,
Greenleaf is nothing compared to Black Mirror.
You know what?
You just
Have you ever
did the
watched
shrimp
Greenleaf?
boat.
Have you ever watched it?
I'm not going to watch
Children,
Greenleaf.
it's
Oh my
time
gosh.
for a national holiday that doesn't exist.
This is
does
what we
exist.
should have
A
time for. And there
national
goes my
holiday
papers.
that doesn't exist.
It does exist.
It does not. Maybe
Darryl
lose my
brings us-
papers.
These people, I communicate with them on Slack app all the time.
Slack app.
That's not a thing.
They're giving out holidays.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's all kind of holidays. This is real stuff.
Thank you for
This is
sharing.
real stuff. So this one is awesome. I actually love this holiday. Today's national holiday is stop saying what year it is when you're trying to make a point day. I support
That's
it.
fake.
You know what?
Give an
I
example.
support it.
If it's
No,
real,
you
give
know
an
what?
example.
You know what?
I wanna hear an
No. I
example.
will say an example because
ever
I
heard of
get
this?
it. I get
Never
it.
heard of this in my
It's
in my
not
life.
it's not a real
You're not
holiday.
hip, bro.
It's not a real holiday, but
They don't be talking about this.
I have
the club.
noticed. No, they don't. They don't. Look, they don't be shouting it out.
Yeah, don't be
Hey,
shouting it
stop
out.
saying no.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. But I have noticed that people say, in order to make a point, the year is 2018 and we're still blah, blah, blah. Or it's 2018, people. that kind of
Right.
thing to make a point.
But you know what? What
It's
people
gonna
need
be
to
the
stop
same
doing-
as
no,
2017
no. What people need
and
to stop
2016.
doing, if you over 30, no, let's just say you've been out of high school for 10 years, don't talk about what you did in high school. Thank
my
you,
God.
Dorian, for laying out.
Oh my God.
Nobody
Oh my God.
cares.
Oh my
That means
God.
the biggest thing you ever did in
my
your
God.
life was high school. Stop
Yeah,
talking about
you're
high
right.
school.
You're right.
Cut it off. After
Yeah.
10 years, don't
You know
nobody
what? I noticed
care.
that
It don't
you,
matter.
I noticed
That
you use your
happens.
hands
It don't
a lot.
matter.
That
I know
happens
I
here a
am
lot.
bad.
She's one of those like.
Yeah.
I gotta make my point.
That
I
happens
noticed a
here
lot of black people use their hands a lot.
You know what?
What's
You know
the
what?
president's name
Can
before
I- can-
Donald Trump? What was his name?
You mean the last real president,
Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama?
I noticed that he did that. Oh,
Can
another
I
thing I learned
just
from
tell
him-
you?
what
right
is
about
this?
now. Right about now. It's gonna get real because you already know how animated
she
I
That
put
made
am.
him excited. Look at him.
Here. You don't want the women
That's
to go
what
there.
you don't want.
Okay.
So if you've been out of high school, especially you 40, don't talk about the running black shoe. If you can't run that way no more, if you can't catch balls like that no more, and don't tell me about how your knee got injured. Your knee, if your
In
knee
high
got
school,
injured in
huh?
high school and you 45 and you limping,
Can I go? Can I
It's
go?
just fat now. You just
Okay,
fat.
can I go
It's
out?
my
It'll
my
work out.
holiday.
Go
Erica,
see Dorian.
Erica,
What's
it's
the
my
name of-
holiday. You
Sports
just
Day performance.
I have-
you
All
just
day
took my
performance.
holiday.
I have
Dorian
to,
Hooker's
I'll have
favorite.
to interject the pop culture anecdote. Okay. Has anybody seen that testimony that got snatched away
Oh
from the woman?
yes, the church wasn't ready for it.
What was the testimony?
But look, the church is supposed to be ready for everything and
What was
everybody.
the testimony?
Nothing should be able to be
That's
said
right.
that is embarrassing to the church because they're calling in lost souls. But do they
I
really
agree.
want them?
Oh, you
I
guys gotta
agree.
tell. What was the testimony?
Okay, so
She wanted
a young a woman who had led an unsavory life got up on the,
As most Christians.
Hey, you know what?
Most
We are
conservatives.
flawed but forgiven. We are
Conservatives.
flawed but forgiven. And it was a
came up on the
testimonial
altar.
service. She came up to the
On the
altar
altar,
to share what the Lord had done for her and
testify.
how God changed her life. And she went on to describe her activities in detail, in graphic.
Sexual
Yeah,
detail?
things
Yeah,
that she had been
that
doing.
she had been doing.
Whatever she had been
Prostituting,
sucking and
having oral sex with the mouth.
yeah.
And licking on them
And they,
balls.
and-
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
And the guy quickly took the mic down. He didn't want her saying.
Well, she could have just skipped over like that.
No,
But
well,
how
you know,
can she? She's not in that
frame of mind
frame.
yet.
Yeah. So.
But I shared
Be
that.
like, we need you to finish your testimony back with Sister.
well,
Sister.
that's why he took it away,
Let's
and
go in
then
the
they
back.
went on to pray for it.
Yeah.
What I say
You
that.
do like this, she'd be like, take it down.
I say,
That
I
blind
say
forehead.
that to move into the next segment because a lot of times what we do is we overshare.
Overshare.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So moving into what we got going on.
And again, athletes, make sure you go check out Dorian.
Yes. Let's talk
Well, we're
sports
getting
day.
to the, well, she said sports day, and I've told her a couple of times pro day,
Pro day.
but that's all right.
Don't let your friends
I need
give
you
out
to
your
get-
name.
Yeah, don't let your see.
I need you to
that's,
get-
that's what happens with friends in business.
Hey.
They go around saying,
The
"Yeah,
wrong
Dorian
thing."
Hooker's training." That ain't it either.
My boy D.
Yeah,
D Hook.
you know, but that's all right.
Well,
Let's get into this.
you
So-
you be ready?
Dorian and Lisa.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Today's topic: entrepreneurs, friendship, and business. Can it work? Let's just start at the left, or do you want to start at the left?
Hey, let me tell you something. I've been in business.
Can it work, Carmen?
I've been in business for myself. I started my LLC about 5 years ago now. And basically, my husband and I decided that, you know, because music is my passion and developing artists is my passion, that we would set up our own label and that we would produce and create the music that we wanted to hear. In terms of the mom and pop aspect of it, I've been putting out my own stuff independently for 5 years now. Now, the thing about friends, I find that folks always want the hookup. My album costs $10. You can buy it on CD Baby. You can buy it on iTunes. You can download it on Spotify. You can get my records anywhere you can download music.
Can I get a cassette?
So
I got it on LimeWire.
that's no.
I got it on the corner.
You see,
From
but do
Buddy.
you see what's so when I take physical merchandise, let's say CDs, when I take physical merchandise to my shows, they are for sale.
Yeah.
When folks know you, they always feel inclined to ask you for a freebie when if it were an artist, let's say like Bruno Mars, you're not asking Bruno Mars for a freebie, or in terms of performing. Okay, I make a living performing. Okay, so I get that I went to Scott High School, but I'm not going to do your barbecue or cookout for the free.
Barbecue.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I have a band and they lug their
Can y'all
equipment.
play some Scott band stuff too?
Okay, look at here. They have to lug their equipment. Man, I'm telling
What's
you.
your majorette?
I was a drummer, a majorette, and a palm.
What did we just
remember
learn
that.
about
I
talking
was
about
bad.
A drummer, a majorette, and a
What
palm.
we said just about
I didn't say what I did. I said what she
You
did.
setting her up. You setting her
But
up.
look,
Look,
but see, this
that
is
girl
a,
can dance.
this is a thing. I still can't come see the show.
$10.
I sit up there and I
I got
perform for a living, and
Yeah.
I'm not here to sell myself short, because the moment that I start devaluing myself just to give everybody else the hookup,
Yeah.
then
I
you
really
start
wanna
to
speak on
expect
that.
that kind of thing. I mean, just for example, I had a show. I threw a party the same night Janet Jackson was in town. Okay, now
I
mind
don't
you,
know if that was smart.
baby. But no. But I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. My show was probably about an hour and a half after she was done, which was
Okay,
cool.
I got you.
So, but you'll spend 100, 200, 300, upwards of however many dollars to go see Janet lip sync and dance her old moves. But we got a live band. We got, whole musicians that lug their equipment, that learn these songs, that sit up there and play for a living. And y'all mad about a $15 show?
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Are
not
you for
cool.
real?
That ain't
Now, so what you're saying is the lack of support from
People
so-called
that,
friends.
yeah. And then my favorite part is you get on Facebook and it's 300-400 people talking about, I see what you're doing, girl, do your thing. You don't see what I'm doing because you ain't at the show. You don't see nothing.
Now, I haven't seen you perform live, but I do like your post. I'll give you a like or a heart or love. Does that count?
You have seen me perform live. I can't stand you.
She's performed. I've seen her perform several times. You're amazing. So that's why it's just great that we to discuss this.
Yeah.
Now,
It's frustrating as
we got
an
a caller
entrepreneur.
calling in about 2-3 minutes. But Dorian, what's your viewpoint on friends in business? Can
Well,
it work?
It can work because you don't have to, or you don't need to depend on your friends
Right.
to be in business.
That's
and
exactly
that
right.
that's one of the things that I stand by is setting my market and sticking by that. And if I have friends or past high
Associates,
school associates
just whatever.
that want to, patronize me, that's fine.
Absolutely.
But
the rate is the
as
rate.
soon as they start trying to negotiate a price, I'm done with it. Because that's not what I'm in business for. And a lot of people, I won't go to color,
Color.
but I just did.
Stop.
Y'all know how y'all do.
A lot of people will immediately do that, whereas the other persuasion doesn't even, all they do is say, what's the cost?
Can I
Tell them the cost, and that's it.
can I elaborate?
Others, they want to figure out how low they can bring you. And see, here's what happens. It's a domino effect, if you will. So you give them the $10 hookup. Now they telling 3 or 4 other people
Talk
about
to
the
so-and-so.
$10 hookup.
Exactly.
Now you got 30 folks in there that think they're getting the $10 hookup.
And you still have to pay rent.
And you
And
still have to pay for your overhead.
Exactly.
And I've been to your gym. You have
yeah.
turf in the inside. It's a real
But
training
here's the
facility.
biggest key. The biggest point and disappointment is that sometimes when folks of the other persuasion say, yeah, $35 an hour, we don't blink because we immediately
Right.
think, oh, okay,
It's-
that's what it costs and that's fine.
I feel like they discount your quality
Yeah.
when they do that.
Yep.
Right,
You know,
right.
and that's not fair to us as entrepreneurs, especially even. And I can't even say it's a color thing. I think it's a proximity thing for some, because some people, the closer you are to them, the harder they are to work with, because they do expect certain concessions.
Right.
And I'm of the firm belief, just like you said, you set your market. I go where they
gonna pay you.
They gonna pay me.
Yep.
Wow.
Period.
Now, Erica, of course, I want to get your viewpoint. We got a caller on, and I'm going to get right back to you. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Caller, you there?
Yes, hello, greetings. It's
Hey.
Rakaya Gibson with Black Girls Talk Sports.
Hi, Rakia. How are you?
Hey.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Well,
We're doing great.
I'm
Doing
gonna. Rakia is like she's a freelance writer.
Nice.
As she mentioned, she's a podcaster. She's very, very busy. Please tell people about yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm living in Virginia Beach right now, snowed in, but I'm originally from Indiana, Fort Wayne,
Hey.
IU alum. And I've been podcasting for about a year, Black Girls Talk Sports. And I've been a freelancer for about 10 years, and I've authored about 7 books and
Nice.
several articles in national publications.
So what got you into podcasting?
You know what? My husband convinced me to get into podcasting when we were just joking around about Black women having a voice in sports. And I said, well, I'm sure there's some women out there talking sports. And so we kind of did a quick
Rakia, I'm
search.
not feeling all that sports talk that
there,
you're
you know
talking.
what, girl-
Because my wife is a sports addict,
Right.
so I'm gonna have to say Deneno. But anyway.
No, but she's gonna have to get hip to your
It's
show.
true. Daryl will send me a text on Sunday, and he'd be like, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" And I'm like, "He's like, well, we're down here at the market, me and the kids. I got kicked out the house because my wife was watching
Watching the game.
I was like, well, I'm out here because
and want
James
to watch
won't let
the
me in there either.
Browns. Want to watch the Browns.
Oh Lord.
All you need is
Anyway.
to watch as a half, and then you're off the hook.
So as you know, today's
Well, my
topic-
husband's a
go
Cleveland
ahead.
Brown fan, so we won't talk about that.
All
Wow.
right. So we're talking about entrepreneurs and friendship, and can it work as far as entrepreneurs and business and dealing with your friends. Talk to
Rakaya,
us.
I'm gonna save your marriage from the start. Don't make your husband your friend. Now we're not about your boo. Boo or bae. Don't your husband not your friend. So we're talking about everybody else but your husband.
Okay. So in terms of what is your experience with doing business with friends? Oh, it's like that. It's like that.
I'd rather not do business with friends, but I've actually had some successes, but it's almost like my friend is a carbon copy of me, so that worked out. But outside of that, I'd rather not do business with friends.
Do you find you get
it's
support
never,
from?
I'm sorry?
Do you find you get support from your circle, from people that you considered friends in terms of your business? Do they support your business?
Oh, absolutely. I definitely get support. But I also realized that people, I had to make a decision that everybody's not like me. So once I stuck with that mind frame, I could work with people.
Mm-hmm.
But it boils down to it ends up aggravating you. There's a lot of tension. So I just rather keep it at arm's length and choose somebody who's not my friend. There's like a small group that I could go to and can count on every time, but it's very small.
But Rakia, okay, Forbes magazine says that most entrepreneurs go into business with close friends. There should be some type of etiquette, some kind of rules involved to keep that relationship going. It makes sense to get into business with friends, doesn't it?
Well, you know what? It depends on what level. Oh, go ahead.
If your friend is
I
Oprah.
agree. It depends on what level. So I do my podcast with one of my best friends.
Nice.
And I love it. It works out. We celebrated our year anniversary.
Oh,
And
congrats.
it works for us because she's very similar. We have similar personalities. So it works. And I've known her since college.
Okay.
My IU days. So it works and it gels. And we had no idea that we could even take it to a year.
Ooh.
We've been jiving and doing this and doing that, and it has grown, and we had no idea. We were just doing it as a hobby.
Right.
And the great thing about it is I get to talk to my friends every week. So
And
I love that.
that's natural. That's natural. In terms of who do you find most listening into those conversations? Is your circle tuning into what it is that you guys are doing?
Very few. Very few. As we hit milestones, we gain more and more. Because people want to ride with you when you're at the top.
That's
Each
true.
milestone, we gain fewer and fewer believers. And so, and that's fine. That's how people operate.
Oh, I don't want to get into your
true.
personal
That's
business, but
true.
do you own a Cadillac?
Stop playing. Stop playing.
In order
sorry,
to be
say again?
successful,
Would you stop playing?
especially on the urban level,
Would you
have to have a
stop
Cadillac, and then
playing?
everybody gonna ride with you.
That's not a thing. That's not.
It's not?
With rims.
You got
No.
have 22s on it,
I'm not on him.
I don't know what you mean when
encourage-
you say that.
Do not encourage this
But-
behavior.
or you gotta have twomps on it. That's
Don't.
What
I don't know what you're saying.
you don't know
Don't
what twomps
Bruh.
is.
Don't encourage this
Come on,
behavior.
man, you gotta know what twomps
Do
is.
not encourage this behavior.
I'm from Oakwood Village.
Okay.
I graduated from Bedford Heights High School.
Okay.
Bedford. Oh, I got a friend that graduated from Bedford.
Excuse me. All right. So we were
No.
talking to Raquel.
Right?
Thank you.
I think you make a good point,
Okay.
though, Raquel, is that
Okay.
when you said people don't want to support you unless they think you've made it. And I think a lot of that comes from is people think you have money or you have something that they can get from you. And as long as they don't think they get anything from you, or you're just, no matter how great you're doing or how many accomplishments you're making, until you get to the point where they think that you're at the status that allows you to gain their attention, they're not interested. And you can be doing all kind
Right.
of great things. And I always tell people that I'm encouraging that are starting businesses and that or following their dreams. I said, look, you can't do it for likes. You can't do it
Right.
for how many people are going to show up, because this is your dream. And you also can't, at the end of it, how many people are going to be there to applaud for you, because at the end of the day, it's not about the numbers, it's about did you achieve what you set out to do.
Now we got another caller on, but and again I want to get into our viewpoint on this subject. But Raquel, tell people how they can get in touch with you and find out more about your podcast and what you're doing, please.
Sure. You can find my podcast at www.blackgirlstalksports.com. Also, you can listen on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, pretty much all your favorite podcast outlets.
Are you a Golden State Warriors fan?
Can you not? Don't
I'm
Not
sorry.
at all.
don't entertain
I
him.
was
Not at all.
gonna listen to your show.
Don't entertain him. Please
You know
don't.
what?
I know, Rakaya.
Thank you so
He's
much.
not your friend,
Thank you
girl.
so
Thank
much.
you so
We
much for
appreciate
being
it.
with us. Please call in again, and we will do a sports show without Darryl.
Wow. Okay.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Thank you.
All right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year
Year.
to you. How I'm gonna kick you off, and I ain't been here in 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow. Now we got another caller on. Caller, you there?
Yes, I am.
Is this my girl Teray?
Hey, how are you?
This is all of our girls. Remember Teray from the
Yes, from the
National Podcast Power
conference.
Conference?
Yes, and she's been getting better. I
Hey
know
there.
that
Happy New Year, everybody.
it is
Happy
so
New
good
Year
to
to
hear
you.
your
She
voice
just took
and
the
know
whole
that you're
conference
feeling
over,
better.
didn't she?
Yes.
Happy
I
New Year
did.
to you. She has a
No, I
magnetic
didn't.
personality, and I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the invite.
So for the people who don't know you or haven't heard or didn't attend the conference, which they should this year, give people a brief overview of who you are and what you do.
So my name is Teray Holmes, and I actually have a couple of businesses. So I'm a serialpreneur, love entrepreneurship.
Love it.
You guys met me through my company, Envision You, and through Envision You, I actually coach women around their branding and marketing with their own businesses, so helping them to get their businesses started and helping them to really solidify their branding and marketing so they can attract the right clients to them.
Cool.
And since speaking to you guys, I've created a couple of more opportunities for myself and expansions in my business as well. So I have a product line that is launching soon called Lily and Eve.
Oh, wow.
And it's named after my grandmother's, Lily.
Did we lose her?
Did we lose her?
Teray, are you with us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there
we
we
can
are.
hear you.
Hello, hello.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so Lily and Eve is named after my grandmothers, Lily and Evelyn, and it's creating product lines, original product lines that inspire the female spirit.
Love it.
So, yeah, and, a couple of other things, and so you have to go to my website to find out all the goodies, but, yeah, so that's what I'm about, and that's what I've been doing, and then teaching individual entrepreneurs through a course that I've created called Coin Clarity.
There you go.
So, yeah, that's it, sort of in a nutshell, sort of, kind of.
So you've been around you've been around the way when it comes to, building businesses and branding and creating your own brands and entrepreneurship. So what would be how you approach dealing with friends when it comes to your businesses, and what have you experienced?
So one of the major thing for me is that I wouldn't treat dealing with business with a friend any different than I would treat it with a stranger. I think it's really important to set parameters, to really make sure that you treat it like a business, and not that you necessarily put the friendship on the side or on the back burner, but that the business, because the business is like your baby,
Yes.
right? So you look at it like this: if you have a baby, a man and a woman has a baby, you don't put the baby on the side for your romantic, endeavors with that man. You nurture that baby. You take care of that baby. Well, the
Some
business
women
is your baby.
Some
between you and
women,
your
yeah.
friends.
See, don't act like
I
that.
was with
Do
you.
not, you
I
know
was
what?
with you.
You know what? I'm
But-
not fooling with you.
Some women just
Some
let him
men-
cry. I'll be in there in a
Some
minute.
men do. Some men do.
So what you're saying
I
is,
think I started something.
Some men do.
Invite me on to that conversation later.
all right, that's a whole other
Some
show,
women.
girl. But
Right.
what
And
you're
so,
saying,
yeah.
what I hear you saying
ahead.
is that you have to make sure that your business is a priority, regardless of the relationship you share with the person
Absolutely.
you're doing business with.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, people don't put any parameters in place. And they say, oh, we're friends and we like each other. Well, by the end of it, you won't.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
won't like each other. And especially if you don't do the things to make it clear from the beginning, this is a business. And unfortunately, my experience has been that most people don't want to treat business like business.
Now,
They-
Teray, what you're saying, I agree 100%. I'm gonna quote a great philosopher when it comes, Rob Bass.
You know what?
It takes two. It takes two to make a thing go right.
I'm
Two people.
That's not a philosopher.
He's not a philosopher.
No, I don't. But well, I'll give you a little antidote. My grandma used to tell me, if you ever want to lose a
Nothing. I ain't
friend,
gonna tell you what it was supposed
My-
to be.
my grandma used to say, if you ever want to lose a friend, loan them $50. So
Darryl, you wanna borrow 50?
when money comes between people,
I agree.
Okay, I'll take it.
when money comes
That's what I
between
got to do.
when money comes between people, the relationship tends to change. Have you found that to be the case?
Well, yes and no. I'm really fortunate to have some really good friends. So if we're strictly looking at business, that's why I said that you put things in place to make it clear that this is about business. And because if you got to go to court to sue a friend or a family member, then that's what you have to do. But if you put those things in place, and actually I have a book. I wrote a book last year that came out with two other women, and it's called Upfront, an Entrepreneur's Quick Start Guide. And in the book, it talks about that. It talks about what are the things you need to put into place in order to start a business, right? So the things from the very beginning that you need to think about. And so yeah, I think on a personal note, if I loan you money and and I'm your friend and I loan you some money and I don't pay you back, yeah, it can affect business, but it can affect things. But I haven't had that. Yes, I have. I have and I haven't. I've had the experience of talking money and making things a little uncomfortable.
I hear you.
And so, but that's my take on business. And so what I have found personally is, so I remember about 10 years ago, I was co-authoring a book with this young lady, and we were going to have a meeting with some bigwigs, and we were going to have this meeting, say at like 6 o'clock Eastern time. Well, I was on Central time, so when they sent me the invite for the meeting, I assumed that they sent it to me for 6 o'clock Central time. So this was a really good friend of mine. She's actually from Toledo.
Oh.
And, I forgot
wow.
some of you guys are from Toledo. Anyway, so so I missed the meeting. So at 6 o'clock Central time, I'm on the phone, like ready, and nobody's on the conference call. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So at like 6:15, I call her up or like 6:10 or something. I call her and her team up, and I'm like, hey, I'm on the call. What happened? Was it canceled? And she's like, no, Teray, you missed it.
Are you kidding?
And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, and so I said to her, her thing was, this was business and you missed it. My thing was,
communication.
Okay, but you're also my friend. Why didn't you guys call me and say, hey, Teray, what's up? Did you get the number wrong or something?
Exactly, communication.
And so, yeah, and so coupled with some other things, that actually, like, ruined our friendship. Because it was coupled with other things where it was like, you know, there's a fine line between business and friendship and relationship.
Correct.
And
the respect aspect.
And the respect aspect, because if I was your client and I wasn't your friend, would you have called me up and said, hey, so-and-so, you know, we're on the call. Can you get on the call?
Now,
you know,
I do have a point on that. Do you think that, okay, in my adventures being an author, filmmaker, podcaster, every venture I have lost a friend. And I think it's because I expected so much out of them. Am I making sense?
Well, you know what?
I expected so much out of them. So I dropped them when they failed.
No, well, sometimes you put your expectations of yourself or the things that you would do on other people. You can't expect other people to treat your business the way that you would treat it. You have to make sure that even with the level of focus that you have, that you communicate well so that your vision comes across and your expectations come across.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. It's about your expectations, but making them clear. So if you make your expectations clear from the beginning, then there are no question marks.
They should know the expectations. We've been friends for 20 years.
But communication is key.
No, you got to say, because the way I do business is not the way I do friendship. I am not nice in business. I'm not nice when it comes to what needs to get done. I'm not nice when we have to get something done and we've committed to it or committed to a time or a time frame and you're slacking or not getting it done or you're continuously canceling meetings or not holding up your end. I'm not nice when it comes to that. So how I treat you in friendship is not how I treat you in business. So putting that expectation out in the very beginning, what you expect about meetings, what you expect about money, what you expect about punctuality, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, you guys got to talk that out.
And that becomes your standard.
That becomes your standard for that business.
Yep.
That venture.
So what?
But I don't look. I'm gonna say something about you, Carmen. I look at you as a business partner,
right?
And then I look at you as a friend,
right.
Because that's kind of how we. But I know you got my back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's the thing about it is the communication aspect that we have allows us to make accommodations for the business relationship. So where it comes to, you know, if there's something that you do expect and we communicate about it, you know where I stand on it. We've been able to have a meeting of the minds. That's important. The thing about that I know about you is the level of the caliber of show that you wanted to put on, the level that you wanted to take full circle to. So when I came to the game, I had came with that understanding, you know, and that was
and you know what, and she, who I just knew for a few months or so at that time, put the show before anything, and then my road dog.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it.
And then
don't do it.
That.
You get it.
All right, now.
Okay, so Teray, can you please?
Hold on, let me just say this. Carol, don't be petty tonight.
You know what?
It's crazy that you said that name.
It is a new year.
Whoop! There it is.
It's a new year, and we're
not petty. Your feelings are never.
We are yet.
And I'm gonna say about you, Erica.
You know what? We're yet
professional. Professional.
Just a little late sometimes.
Well, okay.
Teray,
you know.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and get a grasp on your ventures?
Yes, you can go to my website, terayhomes.com. That's TERREHOLMES.com. I've recently also become a licensed real estate agent for the state of Maryland.
Man, you doing
Maryland?
Girl, you doing a whole lot.
She about to make that DMV money.
You got a long business card.
So this is what I'm doing. I am creating a lifestyle brand.
I love it.
Yes,
I got
ma'am.
to turn your business card over.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about a lifestyle brand. It's about helping you to, the products that we're creating, the products you can have in your home.
I love it. I'm gonna have to get you to help.
Yes,
I sell Amway.
No.
Do you?
No.
People still sell Amway.
No,
No, I'm
no,
good.
no,
No,
we're not doing it
I'm
tonight.
good.
We're not going to do that tonight. Thank you, Tarek. Thank you.
still buy Amway?
Thank you
Thank
so
you, guys.
much for being with us tonight. We
grannies had
sincerely
Amway and
appreciate
finger
it.
hut.
Always,
Thank you. Tell my girl Kelly I said what's up.
All right.
always a fun time when I can get a word in over Daryl.
When I was
Right.
in college, I got
Tell Kelly I said hey.
I could pay on it.
Thank you so
I'll tell
much.
her.
All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Good night, darling.
Bye, guys. Good
Bye.
night.
Now, Erica, what's your take on friends and business? Can it work? What's your take?
I think you have to establish what role your friends are going to have in your business. And so what I've learned in with my business and starting off is that I did lose two, and I wouldn't say one was a friend of my husband, one was mine, and we lost through our TV show. And there are no hard feelings through that at all. It took a while to get past that, but I felt that some of the friendship and me being the person I am, I let some things down, and when I expected things to be handled in a certain business-like aspect, then it was like, whoa, she's being and I'm like, well, no. If you tell me it's going to be this way, and I say we do this, and we shake hands, and we move on, then I'm not a micromanager. I'm not going to come back and bother you. I assume we have an understanding, and when people don't do that, well, then it makes me angry.
Right.
And so we have to sit down and we go through this, and people change words. So, and the end of that, we each lost a friend, and that was fine. You move on. And what I learned is that my friends, if they want to be in what I'm doing, then you have a role. And that is your role. And you can't do certain things where I don't want a friend at.
Now, if you're a real friend, can the relationship be salvaged because of a bad business deal or lack of professionalism?
Let me put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this. In terms of what you deal with when it comes to your business, your work ethic, your expectations, your standard, your reputation.
Right.
Never allow anyone else to jeopardize what your reputation is.
Yes.
And never allow anyone else's standards to make you miss your
Because
mark.
people wouldn't work with me.
The-
I was at that point where people were like, Erica, no, I'm not going to work with you. It came to that.
Oh, I had people who didn't want to come on the podcast because you was on it. Hello.
You know what? That is something different. Now stop.
But
that had nothing to do with me. That has something to do with jealousy. But what I found out is people support you in different things.
Yeah.
Right?
You know
so
what?
people are going to support you in writing. I'm on TV. There are people supporting TV. Some people support me in classes. People support you in different ways. But when it comes to my friends, if my friends already own businesses and we're here, then yeah, we can do this. If you're already in business, we're here, we got the same stuff, we moving ahead, we got the same mindset, absolutely, we're friends, we can do it. But if you are working at Jeep and you just like to go out and hang out at the bar,
Why you gotta say something about
Because
Jeep?
it is a vision thing.
no,
It is
because
a
Jeep
vision
is
thing.
big here.
Yeah.
I can't, my friends have to, like Dorian and his wife and my husband and I, we have the same vision they do. Our circle of friends, we're all working toward the same thing. We see the same. We're not exactly alike, but we have the same vision for our families, our kids, and our businesses. So, can I work with Dorian? Yes, because we have the same thing when it gets down. Could I work with Carmen? Yes, because it's that vision. And guess what? If I have 100, I can best bet they both have 100 or more in their pocket also. We ain't coming there, oh man, I'm a little short.
I ain't got 100,
Right.
but I definitely got 5 on it.
You got a cheese sandwich. Oh, you got a cheese sandwich. But you have to think about, I remember what Issa Rae said. She said, everybody's looking at going up. Oh, you got to get people up. Well, then people up really don't want to deal with being down. What you have to look at is how do you build across and move up. There's nothing wrong with building with the person next to you.
Right.
You don't have to always go up, and that's where we miss our mark.
The thing that I find,
And they don't have to be your friends. Make friends.
As I say, the thing that I find too is in the businesses, you find that you create relationships
Yes.
with the people who you do find yourself
I
working
knew Carmen
with.
That's
singing.
what- you know what?
I mean, I knew Carmen singing. We
mean-
never worked together. I would be
You
like,
build
girl.
relationships out of the people you develop,
Let
who
me
are
touch on
around
that,
you.
too.
Yeah.
Right. And we got 2 minutes.
Okay,
please.
let me touch on that real quick. Because I don't work with any friends. Not that I've
Don't roll your eyes at
been,
me.
not that I was
No, go ahead,
supposed
D.
to or anything.
Right.
But in the same sense, it's been very difficult to share my business with someone else if they don't absolutely have the same vision. I
Right.
cannot
That's right.
let go. And that's been kind of a sticking point with me, is being able to let go and give part of it if I know that they don't have that same thing. And so to what you said, I'm looking for someone who I can build that relationship with, who's willing to come in ground level
Right.
and put in that type of work and effort to where I can feel like this is part of you as
When
well.
you find people
But-
that have your passion.
Yeah, but don't come to me saying, I want to be a trainer and I'm looking to open my own place, but I want to work here for
No.
6 months.
No.
Because I'm not going to show you everything I do. I'm
And
not
it's still
showing
fun.
you.
You're not
this-
gonna train
I'm
your
not-
replacement.
I'm not going to show you what's in the sauce.
Right.
So you can take the sauce somewhere else.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
And I just
thing
wanna
about
say
it,
two
too,
things.
is- oh, go ahead.
The person I learned the most from, I'm gonna give him props. I still love this man, even though we don't talk. It's Vince from Extreme Results.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Darryl.
When he was the
about
first
me?
person that took me under his wing, and when he showed me how gyms really work and that,
Yeah.
I mean, he came in and he said, I'm doing this and this for you, would you come here? And he taught me how you're supposed to be treated in business. And we were friends and in business. And when you said about, can you be friends after that? You know what, I'm this type of person. We can always mend that, but once you burn me, like you said,
Right.
you know what? I believe you. I have other good. I mean, I met Rebecca Rainier, and I got a chance to meet Dr. Mitchell, and I wouldn't have had
your
time
name
to
dropping.
ever. Yeah, I'm name dropping now. I sure am.
You know,
and
Dorian
the
Hooker,
Lucases
too.
now.
Hey, you know
Dorian
Herman
Hooker.
Miller now.
But
Somebody
I
said
could-
you be hanging out with Dorian Hooker
I do,
sometimes.
with Dorian Hooker and them, and the Carsons, you know,
All right.
and the Brennemans. But what I'm saying is that I wouldn't have time to reach out and develop other relationships for growth if I'm always trying to go back and say, you know what, let's try to mend this.
Can I be-
Sometimes it's all right to say,
To
I
let it
love
go.
you where you are.
Yeah,
Right.
from
I
afar.
forgive you,
And let
but
it go.
please don't cross this line.
Yeah, that's right.
It's over.
The thing about
Don't-
that,
don't- yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Go-
The thing about that too, and making it, you know, the point is, friendship and business are two separate entities. You can create friends out of business
Absolutely.
partners,
Yeah.
That's right.
but you cannot make a business partner out of a friend. The reason why I say that is you either have it in you or you don't.
Right.
Period.
Well, see, just as Erica was talking about being burned, I can relate to that. I've been burned several times. I call it the gonorrhea effect.
Oh no.
When
I don't call mine that.
I'm not.
No.
That's not gonna catch on.
Yeah, we just
That's
gonna
not
let
gonna-
you keep that
That's
for
still
yourself.
out there?
That's not gonna be a thing.
It's still out there, right?
That's not. That's
the
not
blue
gonna catch
waffle.
on.
okay, what
That's
I'm
not
saying,
gonna catch
I'm
on.
saying,
The gonorrhea
I mean,
thing.
That's not gonna be a
okay,
hashtag.
I'll go with the
What is-
shame on me, first shame on you effect.
Okay.
And I'm saying no. I mean, I'm gonna give you a chance because I think you all know I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm a fair guy, but I'm professional.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and,
Sure.
and I'm gonna give you a chance because you may not be there because I'm not perfect.
Oh.
But when you burn me twice,
I'm just gonna give you one time.
I'll tell
you
you
know,
what. I will
Scorpio.
tell you what my Achilles is. My compassion is my Achilles heel when it comes to giving people. I always give people more chances than they deserve, and that's me. But at the same time, I'm always very wary of you. Once you've done what you do, I'm always going to be very wary of you. There's nothing in me that's going to wish ill will towards
Right.
anyone.
Not
In
happening.
any situation, you can have hurt me, and I'll acknowledge that hurt. But
Just
I'm
wanna
not
be
going to
leave
hate
me-
you.
You
And
know
I
what
just
my
want you to
biggest
leave me
I'm not gonna hate you for
my
it.
biggest is
Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't say you're gonna do something and don't do it. And if that happens, I'm kind of done immediately.
Oh my God, I'm glad
Wow.
I got you that.
No, I'm
2.0.
serious.
wow.
I'm done immediately
You
because
weren't gonna be my friend no
especially
more.
when you're talking about building business because
Right.
it
Right.
takes sacrifice. Don't say you're
Absolutely.
gonna do something, you're gonna sacrifice to do something and then you don't do it. And that's kind of
Because-
some things that have
And how
happened.
you
to
treat
where-
Because
others.
everything you do is a sacrifice to
Yeah,
build
exactly.
this.
When
Everything
you built it,
do.
you already know what you've sacrificed. So
Right.
when somebody else says they're going to do it and then they don't, and it's simple things,
Mm-hmm.
even time, then
And
that's
I
it.
listen to how people deal with other people in business, and I'm very aware. Okay, well, this person, if you keep hearing it, like we had some, you had to talk, but I heard it from other people, and then I have to kind of say, hey, well, then that can't mean, and I'm not talking about like gossip. I don't do gossiping and all that. I'm talking about you referred me to this person, and they did this and this and this
Oh,
and this.
God,
and
yeah.
Sooner or later, I'm going to say, hey, I can't send no more people to you
Yeah.
because You made me, because when I give out your name, if someone says I need a
Do
singer,
not spend,
I need a podcaster,
don't spend
and
your
I give you a
political
name,
capital on unreliable people. Do not
Wow.
spend do not spend political capital on unreliable people.
But that's the
when
big
you
thing.
make those referrals, not
Right.
only are you referring them, you're referring
Right.
your reputation.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There could have been a whole nother segment on that alone, just referring
Man.
referrals of
Wow.
of
So if
things.
you are a friend and you have hurt a friend, leave the friend alone. Sometimes when they say, give me my space, if it's meant to come back, it is. I believe that when relationships split off, we don't have to hate each other. Just leave me alone. And eventually we will talk again and say hi and bye. I'll see you in a reflection in the water. I'll be like, hey, or whatever in the snow. But you don't have to run up to me. This is not a movie. This is life.
You're speaking from the heart. This
Okay,
woman
so-
has been hurt.
Yes,
So
I have.
we're
But let's
let's
go on
get into the segment where we
Sorry.
apologize.
because we're going to get ready to get out of the
All
studio
right,
in a little
right,
bit.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So we got a few more things to cover out.
Yes.
I want to give an apology. I want to say that thankfully there's just a handful of people, friends that have been in my life that we entered into business and didn't work out, and I want to apologize to them that they weren't as professional as I.
That's a
No,
backhand.
that's
But
kind
that's
of-
a backhanded
Not
that
apology.
they did not have the mindset. You know, like here's a very brief illustration. I did a project with all these people at the same level, and this dude literally walked in the room and he had mirror shades on. Remember those you get free with
Oh,
you
the
get
police
a
officer
free
shade.
with a gas fill
And they
up.
can look up
Oh my
people's
God.
And this
skirts
dude's
with those
sitting down
shades, too.
with
not
mirror
pervert
shades.
shades.
I'm not doing this.
And
with
I was
you.
like, how can I enter into a business with this
I'm
person
not gonna do it.
who
I'm not doing
has that
this with you.
mindset?
I'm
Was
not
it
gonna do
Eric
this with
Estrada?
you.
No.
I'm
Oh.
not. I'm not.
I think his last name was
Can we
was,
just
was
know-
White. I think his last name was
Was it? Was it my
White.
cousin?
But I'm saying
No.
there's a level of
not what
maturity
he's saying.
that you have to have to enter into business.
My
So I want to
father-in-law
apologize
has
to
those
certain
glasses.
people.
Okay.
That
Okay,
didn't have
so we're moving into our fitness minute.
All right.
Yes,
And
Giovanna
our
Boudreaux.
sponsor is Giovanna Boudreaux, who's a blogger and founder of Fit Thick Girls. Those of you who are looking for
'em thick,
encouragement
get 'em thick.
while getting fit and would like to purchase some really cool clothing while working out, please visit Giovanna at www.fitthickgirls.com, as well as on all her social media sites. We're also looking for more sponsors for Erica's segment. So Erica, take it away, darling.
Yeah, so we had a caller when they called and said I talk too much. That wasn't what those 100 questions were for. They were from you guys asking fitness questions. So it said, why is the white bread, and it was the white, D-A, white
Nuh-uh,
bread.
not
I
the
don't
white.
think anyone said that.
They
The
did. They
white
said, why
bread?
is the white bread bad for you?
Oh.
Nothing white is bad.
It's pure and clean, right?
Like
God.
the German snow.
No.
Okay.
No.
Understanding
I'm sorry, God.
why the white bread is bad for you is sort of like the moment you
white
realize, you realize that dandelions
I'm going to the store.
are
to get
now
the white
actually
bread.
a flowering weed. You know, you're like, oh my God, that's not a flower, it's just a weed. You know, it's like that. The white bread is not as nutritious
It's the white bread.
as whole white bread because it
I
is
wanna-
low
is
in
that a brand?
essential. It should be essential nutrients.
I wanna go
Even
buy
if
the
you
white bread.
swap your bread at home out for whole wheat, you could still be getting quite a bit of it in your diet if you eat out regularly or buy processed foods. You know, like the white bread basis for. The white bread is the basis for these things. Write this down: piece of dough,
I'm not writing it down.
bagels,
I want the.
deli meat,
I
deli
already know.
bread.
Do you order it
And
that
baked
way?
goods.
know.
Yep. So if you go and say
order, I
the
want
white
the
bread,
white
however,
bread.
the white bread is very low in fiber, and because it is refined, just like desserts and candy, it can cause sharp spikes in blood sugars and insulin levels. Did you know that?
Now I'm gonna put a little
And
Cleveland
the
on
gouch.
this. I'm gonna put a little Cleveland on this, and I do something, and somebody said that I was ghetto.
What?
I love when I do eat chicken. I love me some chicken with white bread with butter.
We're gonna skip over this. The right answer is not. The
that
white
bad?
bread is not the most nutritious choice, but if your overall eating habits,
I'll take ghetto
that
as hell
are
for 5,000, Alex.
the health risk, okay? So what he's talking about is going to equal your weight gain, type 2 diabetes, and gouch, and
Gout.
heart disease.
Gout.
Gout.
What is
Gouch.
Is that some new type of jeans or something?
It's called gout. But we
Well, I
had a
know.
joke.
We had
that
a
said
joke. It was called gouch.
Gout.
So lay off the white bread and move To the Brown.
To the brown. To the
This
brown.
is Reverend
Wow.
Jackson.
Okay.
We want you to move to the Brown.
Okay, sorry.
This has been your fitness minute. I can't even say your fitness minute for Eric White. But seriously, you
I
guys,
love some Wonder Bread.
get away
country.
from
Don't
eat the white
fine
bread.
See,
Don't
wait for
make-
the white bread.
okay.
White
so
bread
when
with
you-
country crock.
When you go to the store and you see D white bread, don't buy that.
Don't buy the white
No,
bread.
it's duh.
The white bread.
Most of the
white
time it's
bread.
called Wonder, but you gotta look under the Wonder and it says Wonder, the white bread. That's
Yeah.
what it says.
Wonder.
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 The white bread.
Wonder.
The Wonder Bread.
The Wonder bread.
Wonder Bread.
Well, this was a fun show.
It was. I enjoyed.
Did you?
I really did.
I really wish we could drop music in here. We're like, what about your friends?
See there, you know
No,
what?
we are on Spotify.
We're gonna have to get a
We
DJ
on
in
Spotify.
here.
You can't do music like that.
You can't. You
Can
can have
we
a
do
DJ
Jody
right here on the
Watley?
side.
Mixtape.
We don't own the music.
Friends.
We're gonna. I have
you
music
down?
that
We
we
can do
can
Carmen.
do.
We-
We can. It
Huh?
was
If you
my
don't own
stuff.
it,
Not if you want to.
We got to license it.
No, bruh.
Okay, so what does everybody
I'll talk
have?
to you.
okay.
What does everybody have going on this weekend? I'm gonna let y'all say y'all's, and then I'm gonna say mine.
Oh, she got something big. Look at her.
I know.
Oh, so
It's
I
a
guess I
birthday.
go first.
She
Because
just like
your birthday.
all
See,
I
that's
do
where that song's
is
supposed
sit
to come in.
around and
It's
watch.
your birthday.
All I do is sit around and watch Netflix.
You know, you do
I
have a
see.
sad life.
I'm gonna rewatch the Dave Chappelle special.
That's hilarious.
It was funny,
No,
Carmen.
this one is hilarious.
It was funnier
It's
than the other one, but I never
hilarious.
heard a man apologize so much about an apology. You know what I'm talking about. But it was funny.
Hilarious.
I think that's it for me.
What do you got, Eric?
I think.
Eric said he's buying the white bread, a
White
loaf,
bread.
a loaf.
Eric, you did not listen to the answer to the question.
You know what tastes good with the right bread, though? Be honest. To be honest, like the young folks say, what is it? TBH,
TBH.
right? TBH.
What's TBH?
To be honest.
To be honest.
Oh, TBH.
I didn't know. I had to Google it.
Hey, slap.
I've
You
never
know
heard
what
of that.
tastes good with the right bread?
What?
FML.
Them rib tips. Or something like that
Okay,
from
this
a
is-
barbecue spot.
Okay, see, that's not
When they
fitness.
got
Guys,
the,
do
when
not-
they
That's
got
not
the
fitness at all.
barbecue sauce on there,
That's not
you dip
fitness
the
at
white
all.
bread in it.
That's
Oh,
good
yeah.
as
And
shit.
you
Give
take
your
a-
friends
you take a-
fitness minutes,
you take a-
obviously.
A bite of the rib tip
So
or
I'm gonna be-
ribs,
I'm
and
gonna
then
be-
you dip
Can I
that
go
white
into what I'm
bread,
doing this weekend?
I'm gonna be
into
training with
into the
Dorian and
barbecue
going to
sauce.
get rib tips.
and it's all soggy.
Hey,
The white bread soggy.
He's talked more in this little segment
I
than the
know.
whole show. This man likes some rib tips. He likes rib tips.
The wine that kicked in, he warm.
Hey, I'm
You're right.
training with
I'm
Dorian.
past that point.
I don't care about y'all. I'm training with Dorian.
Wow.
'cause
You need to come get some though.
Well,
For real.
What you got going?
Well, this weekend, first of all, I'm going to stay warm because I don't care where the hell you are in this country. It's cold as hell. Oh my! Well, hell ain't really cold, but you know what? I think it's cold down there too. But I'm gonna go check out that movie you guys were talking about. What was it?
Don't.
The Will Smith one? Should I
Break.
check it out?
Oh,
Oh
Brian.
yes,
yeah,
I got
check
it.
it out.
I'm gonna check
Black
that out.
Mirror
Yep.
And Black Mirror.
I want to
Yep.
also
and bad sex.
I don't
I'm
think
gonna have
so.
some good sex. I was
Okay.
joking.
Okay,
Good
well-
meaning bad, but bad meaning good. I also want to say, I
You
want
ain't gonna have no.
It's got
good
no.
sex.
It's got to
You're
be
married.
bad.
Married
sex.
sex is just, it's the same old.
I'm sorry you live there.
It's the same old
You got
chicken
to
live
role
there,
soup.
play.
bruh.
You got to role play.
It's the same old chicken
You
soup.
got to get out of your
Why are
element.
y'all all in my little area?
You got to make her
I'm-
Becky with the
With the good hair.
With the good hair.
I can't even see you. I mean, but anyway,
You know what? I'm also going to be ushering at church, so come join me at the Tabernacle.
That's the deaconess. I'll be there.
Praise him.
And I also want to give a moment of love out
She had
to
immense, too.
Senior Willis that passed away. She was oh my God, this woman was awesome. If you ever met her, she was a huge labor activist, amazing woman, supporter. Just such a, I mean, there's so many things I could say about her, and she's going to be really missed and an amazing part of our community. So I'm going to also be going and showing respect to her tomorrow. She's a beautiful
Absolutely.
person. So thank you. Thank you.
Dorian, what do you got going on?
we only got 1 minute, bro.
Man, at
I'm
least
joking.
take two. No, I'm joking.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I even get that.
You're really corny if you left your own joke, Dorian. That's why you
No,
married.
I'll be training in the morning, as usual.
Where can people find you?
You can find me at 9150 Waterville Swanton Road.
Gotta go out there
That's,
today.
I believe it's exit 64. And I'll be training from probably about 8 to 12. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend some time with family.
Do you have a website where people can
I
reach you?
do.
All right.
www.prodayperformance.com. And you can even see me on Instagram at Pro Day Performance.
Awesome.
Nice.
Straight up.
And so,
All jokes aside, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
I
us.
appreciate you guys
And we wish
inviting me.
you,
I'm
we
so
wish
glad
you
I made
could
it.
see Dorian because he's been flexing to the chest. We don't really care.
I've been trying to
here.
get it in 2000. Look, 2018, she already told me
He
that I
started-
needed to make a theme.
So he put a video up
Next
on
level.
chest
Look,
pressing.
next
Next
level.
level.
Next
Bet.
level is my theme for 2018.
and mine is better, and I want to see y'all. I better see y'all at the distillery
I'ma
on
go.
Saturday night.
I'm going.
From
This is
9
our
to
girl's
1.
birthday.
I'm doing my birthday party, and I will be
I'm
performing.
going. I'm
with the
bringing
Overton
eggs.
Project.
I'm bringing tomatoes.
I'm a.
I'm
You can't
bringing
do
eggs
that.
and
Joking.
tomatoes?
You
I'm
can't do that.
joking.
Wow.
You can't do that there.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
bring,
do that there. You can't.
What did Joey have me drinking yesterday? Hennessy?
Hennessy.
Oh, no, you didn't say that.
Hennessy.
Hennessy?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hennessy.
Give me some
I've
purple
been
drink.
drinking Hennessy.
Give me some
Okay,
purple
Karen,
drink.
I am so glad
Hey,
you're
he
back.
can drink purple drink
So you
and
can
the white
say your
bread
little,
together.
Your little raggedy line.
Oh Lord.
I don't mean talk. You know you're my sister, but I'm sick of you saying your little raggedy line because they say I never say it right, and I
Oh,
know I be
my
saying it
God.
right.
Carmen, will you please show her how it's done?
Yeah.
Also, please subscribe and review our show on iTunes.
I'm
If
not
you give
impressed.
us 4.0 or 5.0 stars, we will announce your name during the show. Please don't forget to check out our sponsors, Three Kings. You can always visit us at www.fullcirclepodcastshow.com, and all our info is there, including ordering my CD and Darryl's latest book. And we'll also post things from our guests. You can email us if you'd like to be a guest, or if you have questions or comments about the show at fullcirclepodcastshow@gmail.com. And we're on Stitcher, iTunes. Thank you, and remember, take a stand for something. You have an opinion? Use it.
That's the way it's
I
done.
say all the time.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Say good night.
Good night.
Crime.
Let's get it together.
Education.
Let's get it together.
Marriage.
Let's get it together.
Politics.
Let's get it together. Full circle.
Poverty.
Let's get it together.
Race.
Let's get it together. Full circle.